and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Thursday evening here in the UK. Welcome along to Bag That Badge. We're running the same run as we did last week because idiot me forgot to change the route. So it's exactly the same route as last week. That's Amore, 6.7 kilometres. I'm going to go at 10 kph. Feel free to run with me if you're in the event. I can see Franklin is there, Amy is there, Paul, Sebastian, and we've got a few people who have sped off up ahead. Oh no, wrong mic. Am I on the wrong mic? I don't know now. Does it sound all echoey? I thought I'd fixed this. Oh dear. Right, let's see. What about that? Is that any better? Is that worse or is that better? Oh dear. Somebody tell me if this is worse or better. Okay, better apparently. Right, so when you say it's better, does that now sound normal? Does that now sound like I normally sound? The thing is, I've really been experimenting over the past few days trying to get our second microphone to work with the first microphone. But it seems like... Right, Sebastian says it's better but it's not normal. Tina says it is normal. Oh, I don't know. It's all about these two microphones we've got now. And the problem is, if we've got two microphones, they're both on at the same time. So if you can hear me talking in this microphone, you also get a distant echo from the other microphone. Darren Evans, hello. Says, good evening, Stephen. Microphone is better than I started. It's 90% now from where I started. Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. We will change something and go back to normal. Yes, I'm also aware of that, Tina. Your lips are out of sync with the sound. I also have noticed that as well. Okay, I'm going to change it back to normal. Bear with me. One, two, three, four, five. Right, that should be exactly the same as it usually is. Yeah, okay. So my lips should be in sync with my voice, and my voice should sound normal now. It's very annoying that it's not. I can't get these two microphones to work together. It seems like it should be such a simple thing. But it isn't. It's not easy. I don't know why I can't get it to work, but there we are. Thank you. Tina says it's perfect now. And Sebastian says it's better and normal, and Paul Hayward says it's the same now. Same as normal, yeah. Alright, thank you. Well, it only took us 700 metres to sort out. I'm determined to get this working so we can have two mics. Why is it so difficult? Oh dear. Anyway, okay. Bag that badge. I haven't spoken to anyone in game yet. I'm supposed to be leading this run. Another episode of Bag That Badge. This week we are doing exactly the same route. Last week I've got the same route. Paul Hayward says it's great to be here. It's great to have you here, Paul. As always. Amy Green is pushing off ahead a bit. She's decided she's got some strength in her legs, so off she goes. We've got Nikki with us. Hello, Nikki. Hope you're okay. Verstraten as well from the Netherlands is here. Grimstad from the USA. Hello, buddy. Eka from Belgium. Arles from Germany. And Sebastian has got his... What flag have you got up there, Sebastian? great abs. Hey, I don't know if anybody saw. Oh, Sebastian's got the Guernsey flag. Why have you got the Guernsey flag, Sebastian? Amy says, I've not run for a few days. I'm feeling lazy, so I need to make sure I still can run. So that's why Amy is pushing on a little bit. Just making sure she can. Sebastian has the Guernsey flag just for fun, and why not? I fully approve. I don't know if anybody reads The Guardian online, but there's an article in The Guardian in the health section about somebody who used to be on Zwift. I don't think he runs on Zwift anymore. But a guy called Martinus Evans from the USA who has started a running club for, well, I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying fat people who are really slow. He's a very large guy, and his doctor told him that he would never be able to run a marathon, and he's done about 8 marathons, I think, now, and hundreds of races. And he did used to run on Zwift, and I remember a few years ago watching a live stream of his, and I'll always remember his name and what he looked like, and it was amazing to see him running. Big, large guy running on the treadmill, live streaming, telling everyone to get out there and run. Very inspirational. And yeah, just was online looking at The Guardian today, and there was his picture. I said, I recognise that face. I'm just trying to remember the name of the running club that he started. I think it's Slow AF Runners, as in slow as for, runners. Slow AF Runners, I think. Or is it something? It's something like that anyway. Encouraging large people, fat people, to get out there and run. I hope that doesn't... It sounds wrong, me saying the word fat, but he uses the word fat, and he fully acknowledges he's overweight. But it says it doesn't matter, you don't... his point is that you don't need necessarily to be slim to be a runner. You don't need to... If you're fat, you don't need to lose weight before you start running. Just get out there and run. So yeah, I was interested in that this morning. I don't know if anybody else has seen it. Darren says, I have a question for the Oracle regarding heart rate zones. What did you set yours? And is your Zwift and outdoor heart rate the same? So, yes, Martinus Evans, Sebastian, that's the name, yes. So my max heart rate, I think, I've brought it down recently, but it's the same on Zwift as it is for outdoors. And yes, I don't know if you saw, you probably didn't see my stream last night. There you go, Sebastian's put the website online, Slow AF Run Club. Slow as F Run Club. And my live stream last night was the Wednesday workout, and yesterday I did a double threshold day, and the workout I did in the evening on the treadmill was very similar to the workout I did in the morning outdoors, and it was very interesting to see the similarities in my heart rate. Max heart rate was exactly the same at 169. An average heart rate for the indoor run was 149, and for the outdoor run was 142. But the reason that is is because in the outdoor run, I had proper rest periods where I stopped running and just walked for 90 seconds between each rep. Whereas on the indoor run last night, there were no rest periods as such. It was an interval and then a slightly slower recovery period, but not much slower. So that accounts for the difference in the average heart rate. So heart rate for me is the same indoors and outdoors. And that is primarily because I've had a generally well-ventilated room where I do my running. Not completely ventilated, but I can open the doors very wide. I've got fans to keep me cool. And also I've got a very good treadmill which matches my road speed very well. Anthony Anderson says, aren't double threshold days part of the Norwegian principle? They absolutely are, yes. So, if you've ever followed any of the training of the Ingebrigtsen brothers, Jakob Ingebrigtsen, probably the most famous of them, they are well into doing double threshold days. So, basically it's an interval session in the morning and another interval session in the evening, or a hard run in the morning and a hard run in the evening. So in both runs you are going into and over your threshold, your heart rate threshold, where your body is producing more lactic acid than it can get rid of during those hard efforts. Paul Hayward says, my heart rate is close as well. I just find it hard to run slow outdoors. It's a good skill to get, is running slow outdoors. Anthony says, I ran in the real world this morning, didn't get wet, looking out the window now, and there's not a cloud in the sky. Well, it's rather gloomy here. It's been a bit wet and rainy today. It's not raining at the moment, but it's overcast. And the humidity in here is 70%. So it's very close. 23.5 degrees Celsius on the AGMT. Amy Green says, I'm an expert on running slow outdoors. You give Paul Hayward some tips, Amy. Right, Darren Evans has come back. Let me just read that in my head, Darren, first, and I can make sense of it. Okay, so Darren says the reason he asks about heart rate is yesterday he ran nearly 7 miles outdoors at around about a 7-minute mile pace with an average heart rate of 147. But then today he ran just under 6 miles at an average of 8-minute miles, but the average heart rate was higher at 149 BPM. So, I mean, it's not... I suppose your speed is different. You were a minute slower per mile, but your heart rate was higher. So it was probably... I mean, it could be a lot of things. Heart rate, you could have just eaten. You could be tired, fatigued. You could be a bit unwell. Heart rate is affected by lots of things. But generally on the treadmill, you will find that it's usually to do with heat and how warm it is in your treadmill room that puts your heart rate higher. And I mean, I would say that is not that massive a difference. I know that you're running slower and your heart rate is higher, but you can probably account for that with the extra heat in your treadmill room. The only other question is, how good is your treadmill? Because some people, if they have a rubbish treadmill, an old treadmill, a knackered treadmill, a cheap budget treadmill, they are often more difficult to run on than it is to run outside. And they're certainly more difficult to run on than a quality treadmill. So you could actually have been working harder because you're having to drag the treadmill belt round. That could definitely be a reason, but I don't know what treadmill you've got. Anthony's advice to Paul Hayward about having to learn how to run slow is to run with people who are slower than you. So that's one advantage of a running club, Paul, is if you go out running with other people who are either slower or faster than you. If you run with people who are slower than you, it can teach you to run slower. And if you run with people who are faster than you, it can pull you out of your comfort zone, and you often find you train harder than you ever would if you'd been running on your own. Tina says, I managed a very slow outdoor run on Sunday, 8 kilometres an hour for an hour and a half. Low heart rate, it was a challenge. There you go. So people do find it difficult to rein it back when they're outside. And yeah, it's definitely a skill that needs to be learned. Just to hold it back, not push yourself so hard, keep your heart rate nice and low. Especially on those longer runs. You know, anything over 2 hours, or even an hour and a half, anything over an hour and a half. It depends what your normal run time. I mean, if you only ever go out for half an hour, and then you do an hour and a half, I would say anything over that half an hour, you need to be going nice and slowly, nice and relaxed. Keep your heart rate in zone 2. If you find your heart rate creeping into zone 3 and even zone 4, just walk for a bit or slow it right down. Amy says, my heart rate is very high tonight. I'm putting it down to being hot in here. So Amy's heart rate is high, but it's quite warm where she's running. My heart rate is a little higher than it would normally be for this kind of run. Two things: it is hot, it's close in here, very humid, and also I am talking a lot, so that is artificially raising my heart rate above what it would normally be if I would just shut up for 5 minutes. So we've been running for 19 minutes, we've done 3.5k. Remember, we'll do 7k, we'll take it up to 7, depending on how we're feeling. I even go a little bit further than that tonight. Actually, we haven't done 3.5k at all, we've done 3k. We've got 3.5k to go. Paul Hayward says it's 85% humidity for him today in his pain cave. Humidity is 7% in shed waters. Sweating a lot and heart rate higher. Right, 20 minutes run. So in terms of time, I think we probably finish around 40-45 minutes, depending on exactly how far we run, but the run itself is 6.7, so we are just about halfway now. There you go then, Darren. So Darren says, I managed to get my room from 22 degrees to 30 degrees, 30.5 degrees on Sunday in 8 miles of running. So there you go. Yeah. I think if you've got a room which is gradually heating up like that when you run, then your room it's not dissipating the heat. The heat is building up as you run, which is definitely going to send your heart rate higher. Okay, the ever-evolving story of Tina's new watch. I discovered that after 9 months, my previous one was still returnable for a full refund. I have been very lucky. That is amazing. 9 months? On what? Via Garmin Direct? That is amazing. On Amazon, normally when I buy something from Amazon, I think I've got about 2 months to send it back. Not entirely sure. So I don't know how you've managed to get 9 months. That's very good. I did a very important job today on my live stream setup. You know how I regularly start the live stream and I regularly forget to turn on the camera angles? Well, today I automated it. It was automated months and months ago. You know when I used to live stream with 2 computers? And then I decided that it was perfectly okay to put it down to 1 computer, because I have one big monster of a computer. It's very powerful and it's perfectly capable of running Zwift and my live streaming software at the same time. So a few months ago I transitioned from 2 computers down to 1 computer, and I had to change loads and loads of settings and reset up loads of stuff. And one thing that I never did was set up the camera angles to be automated when they start. So I've been manually turning them on every live stream for months. Today, I finally got round to adding the camera angle program to my startup routine. So I just press 1 button and everything loads up. The lights turn on, the treadmill turns on, Zwift loads, my live streaming software loads, and now my camera angles also automatically load, so I don't have to think about that. Anthony Anderson says that we should send... Well, what we need to do is we need to get Tina to buy all our stuff on Amazon for us. So if we just send Tina the money, she can buy everything for us. We can all use them for 9 months and then send everything back via Tina again. Sounds like a top job to me. Darren has bought some new shoes, the Endorphin Pro 3, arriving next week. Have you had any feedback on them? Yes, I have. Very good shoes. I have the Endorphin Elites, which are very good, very fast road shoes. But the Endorphin Pros the Endorphin Pros 3 are just 1 step down from that. So not quite as fast, but very comfortable, very fast road shoes. So good luck with them. You'll enjoy them. A lot of good feedback about the Endorphin Pro 3s. I have the Endorphin Pro 1. I very rarely wear them these days. But the Endorphin Pro 2 was a very big change from the 1. and they've continued that with the 3. So a lot of people really like the Pro 2 and the Pro 3. I thought the Pro 1 was just okay, it wasn't amazing. Paul Hayward says, can I have a pair of endorphin shoes, please, Tina? If you can get the order in for those, Tina, that'd be grateful. I'm sure Paul will send you the money, but then obviously we'll get a refund in 9 months and get some different ones. With all this talking, still managing to just about stay in zone 2, 125 BPM. Oh dear, Tina, don't tell us that. Right, Tina says, just to clarify though, everything else I've bought only had a 1 month return. So we can only buy watches, Garmin watches. Amy says, is everyone okay? Thank you, Amy. Yes, feeling good. Yes, thank you, Amy. Yes, thank you, Amy. Does anyone have any big plans for the weekend? Yeah, just to clarify again then, Paul Hayward wants to cancel his order for the endorphins. If you've done that order already, Tina, can you just go back? It should let you cancel it straight away. Right, Darren says, I'm currently saving so I can build my own shed quarters. Currently, my treadmill is in my son's bedroom, so that must be a bit awkward. Yeah. I don't know how old your son is. I suppose it'd be easier if he was tiny, but if he's a teenager, that is not what you want as a teenage boy, is it? Having your dad coming in and using your bedroom as a treadmill workout space. Less than 2k to go now. Neil Messenger is running an ultra marathon in Bury St Edmunds on August the 19th. So that's what Neil's got coming up. Good luck with that. How far is that run, Neil? Tina Beard's treadmill is in the downstairs shower room. Tina, have you moved your treadmill then? Because I'm sure when you've been on camera before, the room that you're in didn't look like a shower to me. It looked like a lounge. Okay, the Bury St Edmunds Ultra is a 32 miler, so just over 50k for Neil Messenger on the 19th of August. Good luck with that, Neil. Sebastian's finishing for the day. Well done, Sebastian. Take care, see you soon. So Sebastian has done 5k and he is out of here. My current challenge, he says, is to run exactly 25k each week. So week 9 is done. Well, I never did, Tina. Who would have known that? So Tina's treadmill is in fact in the bathroom, but it's a very large room. She says it's very handy for jumping off when you need a wee. Darren Evans says, I've seen a Noble Pro Elite treadmill for £700 on Marketplace. Wondering if it's worth the risk. Well, if it's on Facebook Marketplace, Darren, I would go and check it. So, I mean, it may well be legit. And if it is, that's a decent price. It depends how old it is. But that seems like a decent price, seeing as the Elite is around £2,000. So, I mean, it's not cheap when it's brand new. Although you do get a discount with my discount code in the description below. If you want a Noble Pro treadmill, just get the advert in there. In the description of this video, there is a link for a discount code to get money off your Noble Pro treadmill. But yeah, what I would do is I would message them and ask if you can go round and check it out. Because also the thing is, if it's miles away, you're going to have to pay for transport on you as well, and that'll be a lot. So hopefully it's local to you, and you can just nip round and have a look at it and check it out, see if it's worth the money, if it's not too old and battered, and if it does actually work. Victoria says, it's a good job Alan didn't need a shower when Tina was doing a video 5k. Tina says he's banned when I run, Victoria, but he does like to shower at 7, so I can't run then. What, 7 in the morning or 7 in the evening? Or both? Minutes gone, still in zone 2, 122 BPM, and we've got just over a kilometre left to run in the Bag That Badge episode this week. It's exactly the same route as we did last week because, like a numpty, I completely forgot to change the route, so we're stuck with this one for another week, but next week we'll move on to the next one in the list. Okay, Tina, so the next time we organise a video 5k, we shouldn't do it at 7 o'clock in the evening then. Or maybe it's a special occasion and he's not allowed to shower at 7 o'clock. Okay, at the next video 5k, Tina is going to turn the camera around to prove to us that it is actually a bathroom. 1 kilometre left. Are close to the gym, do remember to run right through the finish to make sure you get the badge if you don't have it already. And I hope we will see you again next week for a different route, because I will remember to change. Right, I can't see Paul Hayward's post. Tina is laughing at Paul, having said something. Oh, hang on a minute. Paul says we don't want any more shower scenes on Film My Run. Well, it wouldn't be. See, it would be on the Zwift Run channel, wouldn't it? So it's perfectly allowed. It wouldn't be on the Film My Run channel. By the way, I hope you've noticed I'm wearing the old school Zwift top tonight. Simply because all my other ones are in the wash. That is fantastic, Nicky. Well done. Amy likes my old Zwift top. I don't think there were many of these made. It was actually made in 2018 for the launch of Zwift. So for the launch of Zwift Running, when they finally released it to the public, because for 2 years before it was an Easter egg that you could only, or a year and a half or so, you could only access it through some special taps on your iPhone or your iPad. And then in I think it was February 2018, they finally made Zwift Running public. So Zwift Running is 5 years old, over 5 years old. Well, yeah, over 7 years old, in fact. And yeah, they did this limited edition run of running vests. I was lucky enough to get sent one. If you watch all of my old live streams from 5 years ago, you'll see me wearing it. Until we eventually got the orange ones made. But of course you can't get them anymore now either, which is such a shame. So I think, if you guys don't mind, I think I'm going to run on to 8k tonight. More than welcome to join me. You're more than welcome to stay tuned to the live stream. I'm not going to turn the live stream off. I'm going to carry on past the finish and run an extra kilometre and a bit, just to make it up to 8k for the evening. Tomorrow we'll do the ZLDR recovery hour. So we'll do 10k tomorrow evening. Same channel. Tina says the orange Zwift vests are so good. I've had mine now for 2 years and they're still like new. I love them. Yeah, do you know what? I've got one which I probably wear more, like by accident, wear more than the others, which does look a little bit faded now, but the other ones, we've got 3 others, and they are all really looking like new. Yeah, they were really well made tops, weren't they? Very good indeed. Such a shame you can't get them. Maybe one day in the not too distant future when Zwift Running is revitalised again. Told you I've had these meetings with, or this meeting with a new member of the Zwift staff who is in Canada. Had a Zoom call with him a few nights ago, and Zwift Running is definitely still on the agenda for Zwift. So don't panic about, you know, the lack of investment, the lack of development in Zwift Running. It's definitely on the back burner at the moment, and has been for, you know, a good couple of years now, and will be for certainly a few more months, if not another year or so. But hopefully there are plans in the not too distant future to try again with Zwift Running and rowing, and to make them happen, and to make Zwift into a true multi-sport platform. Right, that is the Bag That Badge run done, but I'm going to carry on. I think another kilometre and a bit, another 1.3k I'm going to do just to get to 8k for the evening. Paul's going to do 10k. So Paul's going to go a couple of kilometres even further than me. I am sweating like a pig. It's 69% humidity in here, 24 degrees. I haven't put the fan on. Maybe I will put the fan on for these last 2 kilometres to try and blow a bit of cold air on me. Yes, it's definitely humid. Amy is carrying on running as well. Paul Hayward's carrying on running. Dean Franklin's carrying on running. Amy's hit her daily target. Well done, Amy. Oh, right, hang on a minute. What have I done now? So, I thought it said Paul Hayward will stop at 3 + 7, which is 10 for me. And then Tina says every day's a school day. And then Tina then says, although maybe not for Stephen. What have I misread there then? I don't know what I'm misreading. Okay, Darren, that sounds really good. So Darren's already contacted the owner of this Noble Pro treadmill, which he could potentially get for £700. He says it's only just over a year old. It's only done 100 miles. And the person who's selling it has torn his ACL and can't use it. He says, well done for tonight and loving the UTMB videos. Thank you, Darren. Appreciate that. I would definitely go and get that treadmill. Because if it's only a year old, £700 is an absolute bargain for a Noble Pro Elite. You will love it. Go for it. Definitely. Okay. 7.1. So we'll do 900 more metres. At the moment, we're heading for the beach path. But that might all change with some camera angles altering where I go. We'll have to see. Right, so Paul Hayward did 3 kilometres outside before the run. My legs are shattered from Wednesday workout. So Paul has done 10k. So that's what I was missing. He isn't going to carry on and do another 3. He already did 3 outside before the 7 on Zwift. Anthony's off for food. He says, we'll see you tomorrow for the recovery hour. Not doing the whole thing as I'm running on Sunday. Bye everybody. See you, Anthony. Take care. Thanks for joining again. Appreciate everyone's support on this channel, by the way. I know you guys are all regulars and I could take you for granted, but please be assured I do not take anyone who tunes into this channel because we're so small. We've got such a small community. I appreciate everyone who comes and watches and takes part and chats and comes and does the runs with us as well. So thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in and staying with Zwift and staying with the Zwift Run channel. Appreciate it, guys. And if you're a member of the Zwift Run channel and you help to finance and support this channel, double thanks and double appreciation for your efforts. Thank you, guys. Okay, 500 metres to go. Now we're not going on the beach path, we're going on the main road. So we're going right. Dean is still running with us as well. Tina says, are you heading to Dorset anytime soon? Victoria, are we heading to Dorset anytime soon? It certainly won't be, actually probably not in the next few weeks, because next weekend we've got the North Downs Way 100, and then we really are kind of tapering down for our trip to France, and there's only a couple of weeks before we actually go to France. After the North Downs Way, it's only a couple of weeks before we head off to France, because we're going to go there for a week before race week. But maybe sometime in September, Tina, I'll come and run on the hills at Lulworth Cove. That'd be lovely, and we'll certainly come and see you. We'll do that park run again, or a different park run. Amy says, well done all. $200 metres left to run. That'll be 8 kilometres for the day, or for the night rather. We did 4 kilometres this morning in the film My Run 500, and we'll do 10 kilometres tomorrow night in the recovery hour. So the ZLDR recovery hour starting at 5:30 PM UK time tomorrow, 6:30 Central European time. Join me for that. If you can't run, just pop in and chat with us on YouTube. Oh yes, Poundbury Park Run, that would be awesome. Just literally less than a mile away from where my mother-in-law is, so yeah, that'd be great. Amy is going to carry on, and she's going to do 10k while she's feeling good. Go for it, Amy. Fantastic work. Well done. Tina says, well done, everyone. Thanks for the chat, as ever. Victoria says, great work, Amy. Well done, all. Right, thank you, everyone. Coming to the end. There we go. 8k done. And I'm going to go for a shower and then have some food. And that is me done for the day. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Well done if you took part. Oh, that's bagged that badge for another week. Next week, I promise I'll change to a different route. I did go to change the route, but I was just slightly too late. You have to change the route 6 hours in advance, and I didn't get there quite in time this afternoon. So, but yeah, we'll do a different route next week in Bag That Badge, and I will see you tomorrow for the ZLDR recovery hour. Take care, everyone. Thank you for watching. Bye bye all.